Okay, good morning, everybody. Week 6, here we are. Lots of stuff done. So let's go over a few things that we've done and then also a few things that are coming up this week. The literature review. You guys are all within a pacing guide. Some of you are a little bit behind, some of you are a little bit ahead. But remember, it is a progression. What I gave you back the other day isn't the end. It's really the beginning of the finalization of it all, depending on kind of where you are. Um, if you didn't like the points that you got on that yesterday, you can do some edits, put some stuff in, and resubmit. Let me give you some overall feedback for everybody. Um, you need to take a look at your formatting. Okay, let's go back to the Capstone Handbook. It gives you all the information about how it's supposed to be with all the margins and everything. Put a page number on it. Start paginating these things. Um, because we're going to get into the 20s and 30s, and it's just like, okay, what page are we talking about? Because as we get going, I'm not going to be able. There's not going to be a ton to edit. There'll be just specific things to edit. So we want page numbers there. One of the biggest things I want you all to be thinking about when you add more to your lit review is actually talking about your study and how it connects to that literature. So think of like phrasing that you could use either at the end of your subsections or perhaps to transition from one to the other that would say something like, well, in my particular study, this is an important connection because, and you fill it in. You can use I. This is much of this is going to be written in that first person. Two other pieces with the lit review. Find research that also contrasts or contradicts what you might feel is the reason for doing it. So you want to have a compare and contrast in there. And then the big word is synthesizing. You want this research to kind of condense down into a spot that says, okay, all of this together feels like this or says this about my study and informs my study this way. So that conclusion or summary ending paragraph is really important. All right, this week, two real big tasks, Chapter 1 and then Activity 5.1 on the discussion board. So Chapter 1, it's it's fun. You're telling your story. Chapter 1 is basically the reason why you've chosen this topic. Why is it important to you? Where did you come from? Is it a personal kind of connection that you have? But you can tell that story. You can kind of espouse all of the things that are going on that made this an important part. But also watch the Capstone Handbook for the kind of formatting because you need a very specific purpose section, which includes your research question and that kind of stuff. And then 5.1, take a look at the discussion board post responses that I gave about your kind of how you're going to collect your data and build from there. You want to talk about at least 3 different ways that you're going to collect data around your study. And then 5.1 is really the meat and potatoes of a section of Chapter 3. So those two things are super important this week. But you're all off and running. If you have any specific questions, please give me a call. Looking forward to reading Chapter 1 and 5.1. Thanks.